Now it's time for Live with the Vibe. Your 4 expert coaches have heart-to-heart conversations, share their thoughts and points of view about the things that matter to you most: love, relationships, your career, and trauma. Here's Julianne Cantarella, Jackie Atchison, Susan Greif, and Amy Blumberg. It's time to learn a little, laugh a little. It's time for the Vibe.
Hi, and welcome to Live with the Vibe, where we have the heart-to-heart conversations. I'm Julianne Cantarella.
I'm Jackie Atchison.
I'm Susan Greif.
And I'm Amy Blumberg. And today we're going to talk about vision. Not 2020 vision, but vision. I have 2020 with my contacts. So I want to start with some questions, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
So what % of people don't achieve their goals?
I'm going to guess 8 because we did that whole resolution.
I would say 8 to 10%.
What do you think?
Yeah, probably around that.
You guys are pretty close. Science says that 92% of people who set goals never actually achieve them. Unbelievable. And the question really is why don't people achieve their goals?
Well, I would say, first of all, because it stays in their head. First of all, when you journal or do a vision board or have an accountability partner or a coach, you tend to make something happen. And you see it, and then you take the baby steps to achieve it. But most people don't.
So actually, after you said that, one thing I want to ask you is what % of Americans actually do have written goals?
I don't know.
I think a very small percentage. I think
people who are successful. I don't know what the percentage
Are you
is.
saying like from 18 to 80? Like what?
That could be anybody.
All right, I'm going to say 1% or less, actually.
Wow, it's less than 1%. That's pretty good. Wow. And you know, that's really interesting because we talk about goals all the time, but people really don't follow through with them. And it actually goes back to my last question is, why do women give up on their dreams?
because they have so many obstacles, so many things they're giving to, that's the last thing we're put at the back.
Because they're juggling so many different things.
But there's more to that. And what % of women do you think give up on it? And I'll tell you the more in a second, but what % do you think give up?
You're asking me to do all this math.
I know! Okay, that's my thing. That's my thing.
Because I'm a math head also. Statistics, I love. How many women give up on their goals? I'm going to say about 95% give up on their goals.
50%?
wow.
So it's better than you thought.
Yes.
But they give up on their dreams because of sacrifices, and they're told to play it safe.
Yes.
In business and in life. And the last thing is a lot of women don't take chances the same way men take chances.
Yes.
Right.
Which I think is really interesting.
That is very interesting.
And I think too, a lot of it is we live in a chaotic world. It's really fast, it's reactionary, you're responding to things that are happening, and all of a sudden you're so frustrated, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And if you don't reach your goal more quickly than you thought you should, I could see people becoming frustrated and saying, oh, I didn't lose 5 pounds in a week, I'm done.
Right. Giving up.
Yeah, a lot of people do give up, and I think that's unfortunate because I think there's a lot that can happen with goals. So one of the things that I wanted to sort of talk about today too is what is vision for each one of you, and what's your why, and what do you believe vision really is?
Okay, so I guess for me, vision is gaining clarity. Vision is creating goals, being a coach and setting goals for my clients. I would use that myself. And planning and having organization to help me reach my goals and create and get to that vision of what I'm looking for.
Yeah. What about you, Jackie?
I have to agree with Julie, and really pretty much, but I think at different stages in life, our goals change. And we have to accept that. See, that's what I have a hard time doing. I am not accepting that I'm getting older and things are changing.
You should accept that.
I know, but you know what? Sometimes your body gives you different messages. You know, it's very interesting.
I think you're doing your body doing pretty good.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, that would be my answer though right now.
For me, you know, when I work with my clients, of course, it's all about visual. It's all about visual aids. It's all about drawing to see your subconscious. It's about writing your thoughts down on paper. It's about seeing what is really keeping you stuck, and then setting goals, creating a calendar, holding yourself accountable. It's because what it is, like you said, it's abstract, How do you make it concrete so you can actually see it in front of you?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there are a lot of skeptics that don't believe that goal setting and visioning and vision boards, which we're going to talk about today, are really valuable. And it was really fascinating as I was reading about that. The psychologist really stated the fact that people create these visions and they're false, and they create this positive fantasy. Fantasies, not Valentine's Day fantasies, but fantasies.
That's your show.
But about an idealized future.
Right.
And that's why so many people fail, because they are unrealistic and they have all these unrealistic expectations. So when you think about that and you hear that, how does that react in your brain for you, people you live with, clients, family, friends? What comes up for you guys?
So I'm just thinking that the biggest piece that's often missing is action. So we're talking about visualization or manifesting, and I always say if you use the law of attraction, you have to take action. So I think that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important, and that's what people don't realize, that you can set intention, you can have a vision, you definitely use a vision board, but that doesn't mean that it's going to magically appear. It's just going to magically happen. You have to take action to achieve your goals.
Well, I remember years ago reading The Secret, and that's the one thing The Secret is really big about. It's about seeing it, and then the more you see it, you know, it's your brain, and then it goes into your heart, and it goes into your cells and your energy, and then it's like, whoa, I really want this, and that's when you start to set those baby steps in motion to make something happen.
But there are a lot of skeptics out there that don't believe that.
Well, I happen to believe that. And this vision board thing, I guess that's why I wasn't really clear when you asked me, because that's what I needed, a vision board. And I never took it seriously until now.
Yeah.
And now it was like, bang, that was my missing piece.
Yeah.
Right, and I really believe also that, you know, life is like a GPS system. Once you know your destination, where you want to go, what time you need to be there, you put it in your GPS. And the next step is put it in drive, take action. And you know what? Sometimes you have to make a little right, and then a left, and then a right, and go straight. Those are the little baby steps you have to go to reach your goal, because many times people say, I want to lose 100 pounds, or I want to be a billionaire in about a year. And like, these are not realistic goals, but they are attainable if you make them into small baby steps.
I can't begin to tell you how many times women especially, will tell me, why can't he just show up on my doorstep? And I'm like,
Crazy.
oh, it is, isn't it?
It's insane.
It isn't. It is. I mean, it's wishful thinking, but that's not how it works. So you have to really make yourself available. You really need to take steps so that he can find you. He's not going to come knock on your door.
It's funny you talk again statistics. I'm a big numbers person. So when my women are getting divorced, and they're also a lot of them are not about, I want to be on my own, I want to see who I am. They find validation being in a relationship. And I try to explain to them the same thing, is that basically it's a numbers game. And think about, you might have to kiss 100 frogs until you meet your prince. So that is part of your plan, and that's where you come in, which is really good.
Yeah,
it's true.
But even if you're kissing those 100 frogs, it's how do you meet them? Right?
Yeah.
It's not just sitting at home saying, oh, I'm hoping he's going to show up, because that's not it. You have to get out. You have to, as I always say, create opportunity.
You do a summer house in Fire Island and you meet your husband, and then you marry him many years later.
Or you meet your husband in a sleepaway camp, you marry him many years later.
Or you meet him on the internet. We were the dinosaurs of the industry in 1990.
It does work without a doubt.
So the one thing, you know, I learned when I first started my business about 10 years ago was when I was behind the computer, I wasn't being seen. And in order to succeed in business or to meet your significant other, the one motto I learned was unseen, untold, unsold.
Oh, that's really good.
great.
I'm going to
I love
write that down.
That's great.
I got it.
Unseen, untold, unsold.
Right. So tapping into that, who are you? And that's really what a vision board is about, is who are you? How do you get seen? How do you get heard? I love what you said. And we want to talk a little bit about our vision boards. So we're going to put them up on the screen. And who wants to kiss and tell first and show their board?
okay, I guess I'm just going to do it. Okay, so because what happened for me is I went to a marital mediation training in the middle of December, and this coach, who's one of the top 5 divorce coaches and marriage mediation coaches in the United States, looked at me and goes, "What do you mean you don't have a vision board?" And I was like, oh God, I guess I should do that. I'm a coach. This is something I should be doing with my clients. So I brought this to the group for all of us. I thought it was a great idea. So what is my vision board?
But you got me to come to your house and do it with you to be accountable to each other.
You guys will see that too. Amy and I got very busy one day. And it was so much fun.
It was great.
It was so much fun. So the first thing is cut out words or pictures or things that rang true, that were near and dear to my heart, something that excited me. So for me, again, I'll mention being a little older in life, changing my goals. For me, it was finding a little bit more of a balance, and I found that. So the upper right-hand corner of my vision board has a bit of my business. It's men and women. There's a man and a woman where they're on the stairs, he's coming to see her, and they're both bringing each other gifts. There's a man cooking for a woman. It's all about the relationship and what you're willing to put in to make it work. And that's what I try to bring to my clients. It makes you happy. I just bought a little condo in Boca. I want to get away. It's in there. It's beautiful. I want to vacation more. There's pictures of my goals for different vacations. I need to get more involved in recreational things other than working out. So I want to get involved in live in New York City area. My God, why aren't I doing and seeing more of the dance world and the music world? I have Rod Stewart on there. I have ballet shoes. Then I have picture of a little pair of shoes, which is really very important for me right now, because it's reminding me to move away from things that aren't good for me.
I like
And that one was really important. And then there's just a bunch of gold because it glitters and it makes me happy. And that's a bit about my vision board right
I
now.
noticed you put Rod Stewart on your board, so what's that all about?
I love him. He brings me back. He did all the oldies and the love songs. Again, I guess everything for me relates back to relationships. And it could be, it's family, it's love. Exactly. Family, there's a happy dog in there around Christmas time. There's cats, there's animals. I don't have my family in there because for me, that's a gimme. It's there already. It's a goal that I have reached. I will never let go of it, so I don't need to attain it. These are the things I need to attain.
That's really great. That's great. Yeah. That's great. What about you, Susan? Because you're this artsy person, and more so than all of us. So tell us about how you experienced learning about your why.
So my artsy board, actually my 2020 are my eyeballs. They're my vision, my 2020 vision. The center of my board is creating art. Is being creative, because that will enlighten me. There's a light bulb with that artsy picture, and there's dance, and there's journaling. So those are 3 important things for me to work with either my clients or on myself or with my family. So the left side is more based on my business. I use the colors of purple and the gold heart because that's my branding. And the woman in the picture is about me revealing people's shadow so they can make the changes and make the shifts in their lives. Yeah. And even like on the top left is a butterfly, because that's about metamorphosis and transformation. And to trust myself, to guide, to listen to my intuition, to remind myself to do that, as well as being a teacher, perhaps going on stage by myself or with you ladies, and you ladies are there with me. You're my vibe tribe.
You're giving us pressure.
I am. Whatever we do, I have your hands there for support, and I have my goal-oriented, my calendars. And the most important on the left side was to pursue your passion without distraction, because sometimes I get distracted with social media and marketing, which is not my favorite thing to do.
You're good at it, though.
Thank you, but I don't love it. I love it more to help my clients than I do, but that's most people do that. Mm-hmm. Right side is about my family and spending time with them, my grandchildren, I love them, and about my health. And there's the weight loss, and there's healthier food, meditation, and exercise, and just enjoying life. And I added little coins, little stars, and little hearts, because I want to bring in love and light and abundance into my home, my life this year.
That's really cool.
I like that. You guys are very, very, you cover everything. So I actually made a vision board when I first started my business many years ago. So I haven't done one in a very long time. And I would say my vision board is really a motivation board to really keep me focused and motivated. As I look at it, it's so funny because the last month and a half has been so unbelievably chaotic for me. I feel like I did like a more minimalized or minimalistic approach and a little bit more organized, I think, in my approach. So I think it's reflective of where I want to be and that I need calm and peace in my life. And which, I'm very happy that business is going well, things with us are going really well, but there are times when it's very overwhelming, when you're kind of split in many different directions. But when I did an assessment when I first came in today, I realized on the right side of my board is more about family and how they enrich my life, and on the left side, which I did truly subconsciously, is really about us. It's really funny. We're experts how we elevate each other, how we bring joy, and how we guide people. So I think it was pretty amazing that I chose those words and that they resonated with me so much. And of course I have in the lower part about my business, and I want to keep people moving forward and creating healthy, loving relationships, whether they get married or, just cohabitate or have a nice long-term committed relationship. And it's also reflective of my relationship with my husband as well. And of course, travel. Really want to travel this year. We haven't traveled in a very long time, just due to circumstances, and we are really hoping to take the kids to Europe this year. So yeah, we've been planning that, and
Vision board helps.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes, good.
Hint, hint to your husband and your kids,
Oh
right?
no, we've been actually talking about it.
That's great.
So it's really a plan in the works, but it's just whether or not we're going to be able to attain it. Things happen, life happens. And my biggest dream on there is to hopefully own a lake house. Up on Lake Champlain. We really, when we go away we've gone away, for a few days at a time, and we typically try to go to a house on Lake Champlain, and we unplug, we play games, we barbecue, we go for walks and hikes and bicycle riding, and just really spend time with the kids. And we hope to have a home on Lake Champlain for when the grandkids come.
That's what I love about what we just got.
I'm sure.
Because that's exactly what it's all about, bringing them away, and just spending good time together.
With them.
Amy.
So for me, this was actually a lot of fun, and I know you make fun of me all the time, but true to my heart is I'm really an artist, and so for me, being able to just do the vision board and sit down and relax, and doing it with you, Jackie, was a lot of fun because it was just a great way to have accountability, but to really have those aha moments, and for me just to sort of get out of my head and just really find the things that were true to my heart. So when I look at my vision board, one of the things that we talk a lot about is getting more sleep and wellness. And I don't sleep enough because I'm always so busy. I'm on the go. I'm doing so much. For me, it's about time, and I have a watch on there with an arm with a beautiful lace dress, finding this peaceful place, but really being able to find calm and peace and more sleep and relaxation. And in it is tennis. And we talked about that, is I want to do fitness in a lot of other ways. And one of the things that I discovered was yesterday, ironically, I saw something about advertisement that I could go do the tennis. And I was like, oh my God, I called right away to find out, and I might sign up. And that was one of the things that was on my vision board. So it's actually taking my vision to reality and having a goal behind it. But when you said, Julianne, something really interesting, my board really got compartmentalized when I put it together, where I've got wellness, I've got travel, and picking a place in 2020. My daughter would love to go out west. She's a photographer, and I would love to go to the beach. So we'll find a place. So right now it's where to in 2020, finding that one vacation. I love to use my points. So that's a great tip for a lot of people, is collecting points throughout the year prior so you can go away. And that's always been part of my vision. But for me, one thing that really really resonated with me is that artistic piece was ringing true to me, and I saw something called the change artist. And I've always been considered to be the dot connector because I always connect people, but it's really been about change in 2019. In 2020, when I saw that change artist in this amazing picture, I just was in awe. That was really who I was.
The picture looks like the Post-its you use on all your boards.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna have to go out and buy those colors. And the other piece was the other side of my board really talks about standing in your power, really wearing clothes and being powerful, and really wardrobing yourself and being prepared for anything. But the little black dress and being fabulous at any age, I mean, you talk about age a lot, Jackie, but my clients, I say you can be fabulous at any age and you can make those changes. And that really was for me to remind myself that my clients are very diverse, and I love working with clients at all different ages. And for finding my drive and really upping my game and looking at my rebranding and looking at who I am was a big part of how I created my board. But for me is really rest, relaxation, and finding balance, and that's what my board tried to represent. So I found it to be, for me, really energizing. And I think for us, we really want to leave our viewers and our clients and people who listen in with some really great quick tips. So what would we like to tell them? You know, what is the 1-2 quick things that just come to mind for each of you?
Sure. So for my clients, the vision board can help them get unstuck. So if they don't know where to start, they don't know who they are or who they're looking to meet, they can kind of use the vision board to create that idea to get them unstuck.
Yeah. For me, it was about finding balance, because I'm at a different stage in life, and balance is critical. And I think that's what that board did for me, put that all together.
Love it.
It's like a reminder. Do you remember when we were younger, you had to lose weight, you put a picture of a skinny person on your refrigerator? It's just to remind you, like, this is what our goal is. Let's not go off and go anywhere. Of course, you can always shift your goals in the middle, but I think it's something just when it's in your face, you see it. When you're out of sight, out of mind,
yes,
here it's in your
very
face.
true.
And when I do my clients, I just have them even draw pictures and then the steps to get there.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that. And for me, it's really about having an action plan behind some of that vision and creativity. And, you know, I know we did one board, but I want to show my second board that just for those that are out there, one of the tips that I want to leave people with is that this other board really talks a lot about the fact that if you're not artsy and you're not creative, I created circles, and I created something that just would remind me of money and feeling good.
This is very you, organized.
Look at the circles.
But it's a board in progress, and I
Right.
put stickies on it for things that are reminders, and I want to find things that will help me create that action that Julianne talked about. Because the skeptics talk about the fact that people have visions and have dreams, but they don't take action.
Totally. Right.
And so that's a big part of it. So if you want to learn more about the tips, write us at info@livewiththevibe, and we'll be glad to share with you those tips and tricks that we've used to help us along the way in creating our own vision boards if you can't join us on January 26th. I'm Amy Blumberg.
I'm Susan Greif.
I'm Jackie Atchison.
And I'm Julianne Cantarella.
And we're Live with the Vibe.